really different. Well, for one, at an HBCU, you kind of connect more with your college professors than at most colleges. They really do look out for you and make sure like you come to class and things like that. But I ran into one professor who was my composition professor, and she's a really difficult professor. Everyone told me she was going to be really hard. And when you get there, she pretty much said, I have my PhD, I have my degrees, you're coming here to get yours, so you have to follow how I want you to write. And it was really hard because I'm not used to writing her way. But I was determined to work hard and get an A out of her class, and that's all I did. Like, I was sitting there constantly editing my papers so I could make sure I got an A, and I got an A at the end of the semester, so I was making sure like that I overcame her class. So.
But accounting, my teacher, most of the teachers at UK, like if you go see them, they like that. They like if you go to their office hours, you go help from them, you go talk to them. If you just come to class and do your work, then they won't give you any help. If you go to their office hours, if you're at a borderline 89 to a 90, they'll bump you up to a 90. They'll give you that A if you come and make the effort of going to class and going to see them. They like that connection because our school is over 20,000 students, so our class sizes are 200 to 400 people in class. So if you go and see them, then that means you're standing out to them. So I just recommend everybody goes and try to see their professors and make that connection with them, even if they're 400 classes.
It's a huge school, there's so many kids. And a lot of the classes that I take, 200, 300 students. So the professors really want to get to know you, so they really appreciate it when you do take class time and you go afterwards, you go to meet them, even if you just like introduce yourself and say, hello, my name is so-and-so, and this is my first year here. They just want to like put a name with a face, because a lot of times people don't take the time to do that, and honestly that can like make a difference between an A and a B and a C or a D.
Okay, high school teachers and college professors, in my opinion, are very different. I was trying to explain to my mom, I'm a biology major. At Howard University, they told me plain and simple, as a biology major, you are supposed to take chemistry as well. It's a chemistry course that coexists with your biology. I had never heard that before, so that was a major struggle. It was a hard adjustment to get used to. And so, on my first bio exam, I failed it, and I was like, how did this happen? Because I studied countless hours. And so I went and spoke with my professor, and we went through my study tactics and the way that I went about preparing for the exam. And he explained to me that everything he would have told me to do, I had exceeded that. And so he didn't understand what the exact thing may have been. And he also told me that I shouldn't be struggling in his class so far because it's nothing but high school replication. And so he told me, well, he asked where I attended high school, if it was predominantly black, and my teacher was white. And what he concluded was that I had obtained false knowledge. And so he sent me back. And he told me that being in his class, I was going to learn what biology really was. So he was a hard teacher. It was very hard for me to get used to him and the way that he taught. But at the end of the course, we became best friends. He never remembered my first name, but he knew my last name, he knew my face. So one thing of advice, make sure you do go and see your professor. Never let them set you back. If you're meant to do something, you do it. Continue to stay in their face and you make them work for their paycheck.
Definitely requires taking biology and physics and all those classes at the same time. But I do go to a private white institution, so Mercer University. And at Mercer, the classes are very small. So I've never had a class with 400 kids. I don't know what that is like. I think the most I've probably ever had in a class is maybe 50. That is my lecture size. Lecture size of my classes. But as far as my teachers, they will know you. They will know your faces, they will know if you're in class, they will know your work, what you're doing, if you're coming to office hours, just by being there. And the fact that I am an African-American student in a predominantly white institution, private white institution, they especially know who I am. In my classes, I might be the one or two only black people in the class. So they know who you are. So I feel that, as far as high school and college, I went to North Cobb High School and then going to Mercer University, I felt that it was very, very important for me to go meet my teachers and let them know who I was and that I am striving to make the good grades and make the A's, because I definitely understand that, you're on borderline BA, and the fact that I went to the office hours, the fact that I was asking them for help and taking off work, saying, will you please come help me, will you please explain this to me, that definitely made the grades in biology and physics.
What I would have done in college that would have made me.
That's wonderful. They want to hear that.
Okay, what you want to always make sure that you do is to not just go to the professor and ask or say, I don't understand something. Because then the professor will ask, well, what don't you understand? So I learned that you have to go and you have to go prepared. Know what you don't understand, have read through the material, have questions for him or her, so they'll be more apt to listen and hear you out. The next thing is when you take a lot of tests on the college level, a lot of times I found that they're kind of rote. Whatever you see in the book is what you're going to get on the test. In graduate school, it's about applying the knowledge. So when you all are studying in college, just make sure that you understand, read between the lines and understand the underlying cause of whatever you're reading. Don't just think, oh, I just need to know how to list these 4 things. Because in graduate school, they're going to want you to list them and then they're going to want you to go beyond that. You know, because I'm in speech pathology, so if they give you a question, they'll give you more of a scenario. So if you're able to understand those scenarios and say, well, how would I treat this person? Or what could I do next? So go above and beyond, not just, I know they're going to ask these 4 things, so I'm going to know that.
I think in high school, something that really would have helped me with college was getting your study skills and your time management together. Because when you're in college and you work and you're involved in sports and you go to school, time management is a big deal, and study skills tie right into that. When you have maybe a few hours before you go to bed after going to school and going to work to study, you need to know exactly, okay, I'm going to do this and do this and do this and then be done. You can't just pull out your book and be like, okay, let me study. You really have to have time management and know exactly what you're going to do. So that's one thing.
I'd like to expand on that because I was going to say that too. Time management is a really big thing in college, simply because in college you're not just going to go to class and that's it. It's more of a social life. When you're in high school, there's not really much time management because you're living at home with your parents. You know, you eat dinner at their time. You know, you do stuff based around your parents' schedule because you know you're living at home. But when you're on your own, I'm in the band, so that takes up a lot of time as well. You gotta go to band practice, you gotta get dinner. I have a major and a minor, so I have to find time to study for both. You know, you wanna do extracurricular activities, you know, join the GSA, the Government Student Association, you know, stuff like that. So you wanna do more and add to your resume, and time management is a big part of it.
I found that the higher up the education ladder you go, I don't necessarily want to say that, well, you'll find that teachers tend to be paid, professors tend to be paid more and more. And when I got to law school, I kind of realized that, you know, these people are at work, this is a job for them. And as much as you think that their job is to give you an education, you know, they're there and they're only going to take you as far as you're willing to go. So chances are, A, the professors making a whole bunch of money, and B, chances are you're paying a whole lot of money to be there. So if you have to beat down a professor's door in whatever year in college you are, that's exactly what you need to do, because otherwise, what are you spending your money for? And I mean, professors aren't always, especially in the legal profession, when I got to law school, I realized that a lot of these professors are retired from practice, or you know, they've been judges or what have you, and they kind of feel like they've put their work in, they've done their time, and so, you know, if you're just gonna sit back in the back of the classroom and skate your way through it, that's fine with them. They're gonna get their check at the end of the day, and it's gonna be a pretty big one. So, like, the main thing is, like she said down there, know what you don't know. Because if you don't know what you don't know, I'm sorry to be a little bit, if you don't know what you don't know, then how are they going to be able to teach you? So you have to, even if it's something that you're completely lost on, you have to be cognizant of like where you are and why you don't understand what's trying to be taught to you. The second thing, really short, is work with other people. I mean, your classmates, your peers, your other students. You know, treat college like a think tank. Bounce ideas off other people. That's really the best way to learn.